Hi, Betty Sue here. Some of you have wanted a little more information on how my hand got busted. It's a little too long of a story for me to type and write, so I'm going to go to video on this one. I was out cooking over the campfire one evening. I'm not sure what I was cooking. Anyway, I was cooking stuff over the campfire. One of our dogs was getting ready to getting ready to have her puppies in a couple of days. We didn't know exact day then, but it was 2 days later. It was just a few days before Thanksgiving, November 2016. The dog's T L Ogre was not inside the yard. We have a fenced off area where our tent and the dogs and all are, which is our living space, so to speak, within the farm. Excuse me. The dogs were, laying around spending time with me, and one of them was the big white one, we'll refer to him as, was up under my chair. Well, like I said, hormones were starting to be noticed because it was a couple of days until Mama Boxer was going to pop. So, T L Ogre comes in, and he comes over close to the fire. Now, mind you, Big White Dog is very protective of the group. He is the alpha dog within that yard. So, I don't know if he was giving it to another dog or T L Ogre or who he was giving it to, but he was under my chair and he gave a very low growl, just like a grumble growl. T L Ogre looks down at him and goes into a horrible rage and starts screaming, "You're not gonna growl at me! No dog's gonna growl at me!" And he jerks the dog up. And the dog goes nuts. He jerks the dog up. He's ranting and raving, teeth clenched, just screaming in the dog's face. Just screaming in the dog's face. Which, of course, escalated the dog. The dog, is worried that this monster is going to harm the female dog fixing to have puppies. And the female dog, so he goes after T L Ogre. And T L Ogre is grabbing him up and being mean to him, and of course the dog is going to fight back. So finally, I don't know what, they got behind me. I don't know what happened at that point, but the dog broke loose and come over to me. And since the dog was escalating, Mama Dog was getting upset, and she started jumping Big White Dog. And I was sitting in my chair at the fire. They were almost, but not quite, in my lap. We're against the fire pit. And I was trying to get a hold of the female dog. The daddy dog comes over to me. Female dog is not, he's not the daddy dog. The daddy dog was the one in the other pen, the grandpa dog. But Big White Dog was going to protect her and everything. But she was also going to protect her unborn babies, and Big White Dog was grumping, so she was going to jump him. Oh, what a mess. So I was trying to lean over and reach over and get a hold of her. And I was reaching out to get a hold of her, and T L Ogre comes around, and Big White Dog had stopped. He was over there by me, huddled over there, away from, like, man, these people are nuts, the dog and the ogre. So he's stopped. He's not doing anything at that point. Trying to get away from the female dog. He's not wanting to hurt her because she's with puppies and she's just protecting. So I was trying to get a hold of female dog and hold her, because I knew if I could get a hold of her and hold her down, all would be stopped, all would be well. And that would be the end of it. No, T L Ogre comes over. He grabs up a big fire log, as you will see in one of the posts on our blog, tlogre.blogspot.com. And he grabs this big old fire log, 3 inches or so in diameter, 2.5 feet long, somewhere around in there, picks it up in the air over his head, and he is going to beat and kill Big White Dog. That dog was not going to growl at him. He's going to kill that dog. Don't know if the dog growled at him or not, but, you know. He was just laying there still. Just gave a little grumble. So T L Ogre is going to kill the white dog. He doesn't like the dog because the dog and I are really close, and that makes him jealous, and he's been trying for a long time to find a reason to kill Big White Dog. He keeps saying he's going to. So he gets that stick, and he is going to beat and kill my Big White Dog, my service dog. And I'm reaching out, trying to grab across in front of Big White Dog, trying to get a hold of the mama dog. And T L Ogre isn't putting the big log down, the big limb. He gets this horrible, maniac, lunatic look in his eyes like I've never seen it before. And he kind of cocks his head, and he waves the log in the air for just a little bit, like kind of waves it, and you can see he's thinking. And he's processing, and he's thinking in his mind. And then he gives it one more big lift, takes in a deep breath, and crashes the log down on my hand, which is in front of the white dog. But he crashes the log down on my hand and knocks my arm around backwards and popping my shoulder. And the pain was horrific. I can't even explain the pain. I just knew that my whole hand was busted and I'm going to be limp. I don't know what's wrong with my hand. This was over a month ago, and my hand, I'm still having issues. It still hurts bad. It has had some improvements. At that time, over the next 24 hours, the numbness went from the tips of my fingers all the way up to my shoulder and down into my rib cage. And he examines my hand himself. I don't need to go to a doctor. He can examine it. He examined my hand and diagnosed it. You know, oh, it's not broke. It's just a nerve. It's some nerve damage. It'll heal over time. It's not healing. I'm positive there's a fractured bone in it. I still have a lot of numbness. I'm even having trouble tying my shoes. Peeling eggs, tying my shoes, anything like that, it's almost impossible. It's real hard to do, and it just sends pain shooting. I've used it way too much the last few days getting ready for Christmas stuff, and the pain the numbness and stuff was climbing back up in my shoulder yesterday. 3 or 4 of my fingers, my thumb and my first 3 fingers, are still very numb and tingly. My hand's bad. It was my good hand. It was my dominant hand, the one I'd never had any broken bones in with. It stopped me from being able to do an awful lot of things right now. Anyway, back to the story. He crashed down on my hand. I screamed. A little bit later, of course, apparently a neighbor heard it and called it in, because police helicopter went over a little later, but we had things quiet at that moment. I wish they had come on up and asked. T L Ogre just defends himself and says, well, you should have moved your hand. What? I should have moved it? Well, you should have moved your hand. I thought you would have moved it. That means he saw that my hand was there. He saw that my hand was there when he crashed the limb down with all of his might on my hand. He fully intended to bash my hand. That's what the thinking and in my opinion, and all the thoughts going through his eyes and his head before he brought that limb down on my hand. He knew what he was hitting. He knew what he was doing. Excuse me. So I'm sitting there doubled over in extreme pain. Oh, and a week or so later, you know, my shoulder finally popped all the way out of place, and I couldn't even move my arm hardly for a while. It finally went back in, but that was my good shoulder too. So I'm having a lot of problems. Shoulder, arm, hand, everything. But there has been no slack on my chore lists. I promise you, no slack on my chore lists. So then he grabs the dog while I'm doubled over in pain and I can't do anything. He grabs the dog up, 'cause that dog he's gonna kill it. He grabs that dog up, pulls the dog over in front of me where I have to watch, starts choking the dog, pinching and choking his neck. And he's just in this, I gotta kill him, I can't let him go, he'll get me, he's gonna get me. Well, of course he's gonna get you. He just watched you beat his master and break my hand. So, he's standing there choking and holding the dog, and the dog stops breathing, and I'm screaming, don't kill him, I'm not gonna kill him, but I can't let him go. I said, stop, you're killing him. And he continued until the dog's eyeballs were popping half out, and made me watch my dog start to pass out and his eyeballs pop out. I can't describe the hurt. The hurt was far worse than what he had done to my hand. That's horrible. That is beyond horrible. Monster. Ogre doesn't even cover what this monster is. He finally let go of the dog, and we all went to lick our wounds. The dog's neck swelled up, and he couldn't hardly swallow for the next few days. He had a lot of trouble eating, and the dog really has a much smaller opinion now of T L Ogre, and it's getting very nerve-wracking and scary. The dog has a much stronger desire to protect all of us from the ogre, and it's not a good situation. So that's the story of my hand getting bashed and the dog being attempted to be killed. The dog that is my helper dog when I need help getting up and down out of a chair. My leg goes out, I need help walking from point A to point B. I call him over to me to help me walk, my walking crutch, my protector. Okay, end of my story. Feel free to ask any questions you would like in the comments. I will ask all that I can. If you would like to message me and ask me questions via email, feel free to do that. I will answer everything possible. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being supportive. Have a great day. Bye-bye.